Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Save File podcast. With me, I have a man who has saved princesses from castles. He saved worlds from destruction. He just can't come first in Fortnite Battle Royale.
Yo,
it's Amph.
what up? Oh my god.
And with me, I have Josh. Just Josh.
You son of a bitch.
and I am Shams, and I'm Charbel, and tonight we have quite a few things we want to get through.
Oh my god, I gave you a week to think up shit and that's...
Alright. So let's get down the list and see what we're talking about tonight. Josh, you wanted to discuss the new news with Pokemon.
Yes.
And the new game coming to the Switch.
Absolutely.
Yep. Amph, I believe Bethesda have shared something crazy about Fallout.
Oh yeah, baby. I'm ready for it.
And I also wanted to talk about something that came up today that I read up on Polygon, which is about Xbox laying off dedicated support stuff in favor of their ambassadors. And we also wanted to touch on a lot of the controversy around Battlefield 5 as a bit of a topic of discussion later on.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Alright, so do you want me to start off?
So, let's get into it. Pokemon.
Alright,
go.
firstly, as I said last week, I'll be giving my 2 cents on the Pokemon Phoenix Rising announcement. I've given the game a bit of a play, and it is bloody fun. It feels like Gen 4. It feels really good to play. You can just be evil in the game. The first option that you get is like someone steals from the town, like as a swindler, like a salesman, and you can take a bribe to let him go instead of turning him into the cops.
Wait, what does he bribe you?
Nugget.
A nugget.
Some solid gold.
Yeah.
No, the game is...
I mean, I'm taking that bribe.
I didn't. I've got to play a good character. Yeah.
Oh.
There's a few design issues I have with it. I think I like the quest system. I think their UI prompts and their tutorial prompts last a bit too long, and not being able to opt out of them is kind of annoying. But other than that, the game is fantastic, and I'm looking forward to more from them. And now into the big shit. Today was announced 3 new Pokemon games.
Oh.
So let's get into them.
Oh.
Pokemon trolled the entire world for about 10 minutes by announcing Pokemon Quest first. I don't know if you guys saw that, but people went kind of nuts.
Yeah,
I actually didn't see it. I missed out on the whole thing. I've just been busy all day.
I seen it. Voltorb looks.
That is a cursed image, and we do not speak of it. But basically, it looks like if you've ever seen, it looks like a Minecrafty, like voxel art based Pokemon game. It's mobile, it's free, and it seems to have like really simplified RPG mechanics and like team building. So I don't expect much from Pokemon Quest, but it is certainly a welcome addition to the franchise.
When does it launch?
November,
Pokemon
right?
Quest, I'm actually not sure when Pokemon Quest launches. I think it's soon. It might be November to coincide with the big news. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee have been officially announced, making that podcast that we made before actually leak information. Let's go over the things that... I'll go over the big things about it. One, it is a Yellow remake. Big thing that no one fucking saw coming was the fact that it's 2-player co-op.
Yeah, I did not
No.
see that coming.
I saw that and I was like, wait, what? And a big thing I didn't see coming, that is not a main series game, it is a spin-off.
Similar to the likes of like Colosseum and
Colosseum,
XD, right?
Mystery Dungeon, XD, all these spin-off games, it basically comes in the same vein as that. It's why it has...
So what would be the main differences in the way that the original Pokemon Yellow worked and then this? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in terms of like, oh yeah, you catch it now by throwing Pokeballs, literally and things like that. But like, what separates?
Well, I'm glad you
from
asked.
just being a normal Yellow remake.
I'm glad you asked, my uncreative friend.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
no, I'll never let this go.
you're salty
A little
now.
bit. The main differences is this game, and it has been announced that this game is much more focused on the younger demographic of Pokemon. I'm going to say, 10-year-olds, honestly, because that's the Pokemon original demographic. Because I think Nintendo has realized now that the mainline games are mainly being played by an older generation. They're mainly being played by people our age, 18 and over. You know what I mean? It's more of a competitive style. So what they're doing is they've created Let's Go Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee. It's a Kanto reboot, so they've got a really solid foundation. The different versions allow you to play as two different characters. Allows you to essentially have the Eevee or the Pikachu with you. The main differences are wild Pokemon don't have battling anymore. You just throw to catch them. There is battling, and it's with your trainer. It's with trainers only. Leveling up, battling, all that is much more simplified. So it's much more. It's Pokemon core, if you know what I mean. Like they've stripped away the arbitrary systems, the arbitrary mechanics that make the mainline series like very competitive and very, I guess, complicated, if you want to put it that way. Even though you could ignore most of them.
Yep.
It's a game made for a casual player.
But is the battle system? I know you just said you battle with trainers, but is the battle system going to be like the original Pokemon Yellow?
Yes.
Okay.
From what I've seen, the battle system is the same. If you're with a friend, it's double battles.
So my question would then be, how do you level your Pokemon up? Because I think like one of my earliest memories of Pokemon Yellow is when I got my ass handed to me by Brock, because he was the first one he came up against, and he was the one in the with a rock type gym.
He will fuck you up in Yellow.
Yeah, no. I literally got a Nidoran, and just kept training it till it learned Double Kick, and then just put all of his Pokemon to sleep with it.
I used Butterfree until it learned Confusion.
I think that's the most optimum way to actually kick his ass.
Yeah, it kind of is. Pikachu's not very helpful there. But this game, honestly, is going to be one of those games. Leveling up is going to be handled very differently. I currently don't know myself how it's going to be handled, but it will be a bit different to the main series games. And for one thing, let's give this game a chance, guys, because I've seen a lot of hate for it.
Oh, no, I'm keen.
I'm all for it, too.
I'm
to be
keen.
honest, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
All they had to do to get me interested was say Yellow Remake. I talked last week about how much I loved Yellow, so I've got my eye on this.
This game is either a nostalgia trip or a great thing to play with a younger sibling or even with a partner that's just fucking... Let's just enjoy the experience rather than having to worry
I will say this, though, is I hope that there's another way to catch Pokemon instead of, like, pretending to throw the Joy-Cons. Because I guarantee you, one of these days, if I was to try that, I'm going to break the TV I just bought.
I'm pretty sure you can use the touchscreen.
Okay, no, but I'm saying, like, because I mainly play my Switch games with my Pro Controller. So even if it was, like, flick one of the thumbsticks down and up, I'd be happy with that. But
I think, actually, that probably will be how it works, because it is motion and gesture-based, but...
I really hope so.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
I think it'll be like the 3DS where you can, like, with Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D, it uses gyroscope, but you can choose to use your circle pad.
Yeah, there might be an opt-out option. I'm pretty sure there will be anyway. They are very good game designers over at the Game Freak Studios in Niantic. This is the game where it's partnered with Pokemon Go, it's aimed for a casual audience, and not to say anything, but there's no reason to hate this game because it's not a main series game, because our main series game is coming next fucking year. It's coming.
Which, again, I can't wait for.
I can't bloody wait for it either, but, like, it's coming next year, guys. Let's just give...
Is the main...
Gen 8.
Just so I know, is the main series game coming to the Switch, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's all I want.
And allow me to say this. Let's Go Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee is releasing a brand new, never-before-seen Pokemon. Just one. And I'm pretty sure it's an evolution.
Next minute, just to troll everyone, it's just Trubbish. They've just added Trubbish to Gen 1.
Trubbish in there. No, but... oh my god. But basically, I think that... let's just give this a chance as a spin-off game. It's to tide us over until the 2019 release, and it means the 2019 release is probably going to be a lot better.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm all for it when it comes to this sort of game. Like, when it comes to Pokemon... When I play it, to me, it's all about the journey, and this game recaptures that sort of feeling.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. And Pokemon spin-offs have a really fucking good reputation. Like, I think the only really bad one is Pokemon Dash.
I can't wait to replay Hey You Pikachu.
Oh my god, alright. There's a few bad ones, but like...
How they type with
210.
Pikachu DS?
Oh, that's not too bad. That was just a teaching sim. I just don't want people to write off this game out of prejudice of, oh, we didn't want this. This isn't what the fans want.
Oh no, absolutely.
I'm like,
absolutely not. Yeah.
This shit's awesome. I've already seen people on Twitter raving about like all the peripheral stuff where you can buy a Pokeball and you can roll it around and Pikachu talks to you. That shit is tight.
And that does look pretty cool.
That looks so cool. Honestly, that looks so cool. Oh god, I'm really keen though. I'm really keen. Yeah, no. And F, you wanted to not to cut this short or anything, but I think we should probably move on to our Fallout news.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. Take it away, F.
On the 30th of May, which was during this recording, it's 12 a.m. So it's 31st of May. Bethesda released a picture or a GIF of Please Stand By, which was shown in I think it was 2014, 2015 E3.
Fallout Shelter 2 confirmed.
That was one of the comments I saw, actually.
They did the exact same thing back then, and that's how Fallout 4 was announced. And at the moment, we do not know what this will be, but I am curious on what it will be. And I do hope it's a new Fallout game. I am ecstatic.
I think it's going to be an apology for Fallout 4.
What?
I
love
Fallout
4.
4.
It's my favorite one. Maybe except for Preston Garvey and the dialogue system.
No, the dialogue system was atrocious, but...
Preston's about to comment on the video saying another settlement needs our help.
I really hope he does. We can use the views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. A lot of people didn't enjoy 4.
Yeah, I was talking to a mate of mine who I know is a huge Fallout fan a while back about it, and he said the main thing he missed from the older Fallouts was the karma system.
Oh yeah.
And he felt like that was. He goes, your choices had so much more weight with the karma system in his eyes, whereas in Fallout 4 it felt like none of your changes had a massive weight. It'd have like a repercussion for about 5 minutes, whereas if you did something like in Fallout 3 where one of the first things you can do is blow up Megaton, very, very different feeling to I painted the wall a different color than the guy wanted and now he's upset.
Sometimes you piss off a friend, sometimes you nuke a town. Same difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing I did like about since Fallout 4 is technically my favorite one, I did like how it did branch off towards the end when it came to like story paths. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I don't mind that. Fallout 4 certainly do things right. I'm saying it more from a perspective of the general fandom. They didn't particularly enjoy Fallout 4, and I understand some of the complaints, but I think it's also a lot of it wasn't very much like New Vegas.
I mean,
it better be Fallout Shelter 2 or I'm going to explode.
No, you know what? The two top comments I saw on... I can't remember who posted it. I think it might have been Kotaku Australia. But the two top comments I saw on a post about it was A, this will be Fallout Shelter 2, and B, the comment said something like, what I want this to be, Elder Scrolls 6, what it probably is Fallout for Switch.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Fallout for Switch.
Come E3.
I mean, after Skyrim, I wouldn't mind it.
Come E3, they'll announce Skyrim for a blimp.
But Sheen, this is the seventh time you've shown Skyrim.
Still waiting for Skyrim on the Game Boy Advance.
I'm getting sick of these ports. I'm getting sick of them. People need to calm down.
To be honest, I like the easiest way to not really care about it is to just not buy it. Like, I owned Skyrim on the PS3. I own it on the PS4. That's all I care about.
Charbel, if we say don't buy it one more time, we're gonna have to make a shirt. Because it's becoming our motto. It's just don't support this if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think that's the most I think that actually has become the most common thing we've said across so far all 3 episodes of this podcast.
Just don't buy it.
Yeah, just don't buy it.
It's a very Jersey thing.
That'll be a cover photo, man. It'll just be don't buy it.
Don't do it.
Is there With the GIF uploaded, is there like a countdown or a timeline or anything that we can know, or is this just a let's wait for E3 and see what
I think
Bethesda-
it'll
Yeah.
be more along the lines of wait for E3 because there hasn't been any timer or whatnot. Sadly.
E3 is going to be one hell
Yeah.
of a podcast.
Oh,
Oh man, I can't wait. I love E3 because I just stay up and like watch everything.
Spyro for Smash.
It's like when
hell yeah!
Oof.
Hell yeah!
no Spyro for PlayStation All Stars 2.
Solitaire from Dark Souls for Smash.
Sorry. Praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
Praise it. Praise the sun.
All right, now moving on from that, I want to talk about this next topic quite a
This
bit.
is probably going to be our long one because I think we have a lot to say about this.
Oh, yeah. So roughly 20 hours ago, like much earlier on, I saw an article an article was posted by Polygon about Xbox laying off its dedicated support staff in favor of Xbox ambassadors who
But Charbel,
are
what are Xbox
man.
ambassadors?
I'm glad you asked me that, Josh. Just Josh.
Dude, this is just gonna be a roast sesh for the entire podcast.
Oh yeah, they're the entire thing.
Absolutely. Okay, no. Xbox ambassadors are volunteers of the community who help, I guess, solve a lot of the inquiries they get in regards to service and things like that, customer service. Now, I'm a bit worried about this because when I was, in the previous generation of consoles, I had it was pretty split, going from like the 6th generation where everyone had a PS2, everyone I knew had a PS2, to the 7th generation where it sort of split. One of the main arguments I heard was, and this probably might bring back a few memories for you guys, is, oh yeah, but on PS3 we don't have to pay for online.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
oh yeah, but on Xbox,
2009.
on Xbox you're
Yeah,
paying,
so common.
you're paying for better service. You're paying for better service. And
I miss-
judging by the comments I saw on that post, a lot of people are worried now that the service that Xbox Live became so well known for is about to take a bit of a dip in quality.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I see it happening.
look, I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to say it's gonna happen for sure, but I definitely think it's a possibility. Because all it takes is one of these ambassadors to have a bad day, and then maybe they get a really annoying inquiry, and then they just think, you know what, I'm not getting paid for this. Fuck it. I'm a volunteer. Fuck it. I'll do this on my own time. And that word of mouth is the most powerful marketing. If one person goes and says, man, I had the shittest experience with Xbox stuff, that might cause, even if that causes one other person to not buy an Xbox, that's already a negative to doing this.
It's a bad idea in general, from my point of view. You're online. That your
Yeah.
service and people are really important to keep that fan base loyalty. As soon as people say,
Yeah.
"Oh no, their service is shit," they're gonna go away, whether or not it's now or later.
And it never makes sense to
Yeah.
hire like amateurs in place of professionals ever.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised Xbox has exclusive anything.
Man, don't get me started on that. That was actually, believe it or not, that was one of the comments I saw in that article. Someone said, oh yeah, they don't have exclusive games. Now they don't even have exclusive support staff.
Oh my god.
But-
it's
But look,
it's a bad sign.
in all honesty, let's be serious for a minute. I honestly cannot understand what would push a company like Microsoft to do this.
Money
Not,
and the fact that they.
but you're Microsoft.
I don't
You're
think-
one of the most profitable companies that has ever existed.
No, but I think that's why. Is because the Xbox isn't even like if the Xbox goes under, that might dent them a little bit, but doesn't it won't keep them up at night.
Nah.
That's my point. Like I don't understand why when you have that much resources at your disposal, why would you just start gimping your console like that? Microsoft has done quite a few things with the Xbox One that I'm actually really fond of. Starters, obviously backwards compatibility. Though I want to see that library continue to expand, that's a great thing to have on your console. They've been consistently updating the Xbox One through, obviously a bunch of software updates, things like that. Xbox's Game Pass is much better than Sony's, what is it, Play Now or whatever it is. Like, the idea that you can download a game and play it for a limited amount of time instead of streaming it, especially considering all of us have terrible internet.
Yeah.
I'm sure like, they've done so many good things, and it feels like they take one step forward to this console and then 3 steps back. Like, why would you... Why? I don't see a reason for this, but here's where a lot of people that are extremely annoyed about this. Those ambassadors have been trained to do the support staff's job. And the reason they've been trained is because it's the support staff that were laid off who trained them to take their job.
That's really fucked up. Imagine training
So-
the intern to do your job, and then they give the intern your job, and then don't pay the intern.
Oh.
So here's the thing. The dedicated support staff were not direct employees of Microsoft. They worked for a third-party consulting company, and they just handled Xbox's support, to my knowledge. But to go to a group of people and be like, all right, we need you to go on this project for us. You are gonna train volunteers to do your job for you, so we don't have to spend money on this. You know, as much as that sounds like something I would do to like my Sims in a game or something like that, I just make them work and not pay them.
Oh my god.
That is not something I could. I wouldn't think I'd have the heart to do that to actual people. And be like, you're going to train the person that's going to do your job for free.
No, I absolutely would not do that to people.
No.
Jesus.
That is, yeah. And look, I mean, maybe you can say that the good thing is they work for a third-party company, so it's not like they're out of a job completely. They're just off that project. But that is still a thing where it's like you're working for a company like Microsoft. You would hope there's some job security in there, and to find out you've been laid off because, like we've said, the unpaid intern is taking your job. That's got to be pretty disheartening.
Yeah.
I honestly feel bad for them.
That would feel pretty horrible, honestly. I couldn't imagine having that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack here. Like, this is just not consumer friendly whatsoever.
I mean, look, it's hard to say that it's not consumer friendly because at the end of the day, let's look at this from a more positive standpoint, right? These ambassadors are members of the community, right? These are people who love, the Xbox brand, the consoles, whatever, and they've volunteered to be in this position. Maybe they are going to do the best job they can do, and maybe, just maybe, this service improves because of how much they love the brand and how dedicated they are to it. There are incentives for these ambassadors as well. It's sort of like a reward system where the more milestones you hit, the better your rewards are and things like that.
I'm getting
So look-
YouTube Guardian flashbacks. This is terrible. This is a terrible, terrible idea.
But look, this may turn out to be a great thing. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it won't. But again, the same way we look at a game and we say we don't know how this is going to look until it's released. Let's try to keep an open mind about this. And look, worst case scenario, if this completely goes to shit, I hope that they will come back to having dedicated support staff.
Yeah, I can't exactly blame other people for having a bit of, pessimism, a pessimistic approach towards it, but we do need to keep a bit more of an optimistic approach towards it as well.
I know we have to be optimistic, but let's be honest here. It's not exactly a good thing to know that someone is not being paid to handle something like customer service.
Yeah.
Because it's already a difficult job. Like, Charbel, I know you've had the back end of this.
Oh well, yep. I'm sure anyone that's worked in a retail job knows what it's like to have a bad customer. When you've done community management for a game, whether it be as like the community manager yourself, or in my position, I was an intern for a particular video game studio at the time, and I was interning for them, and I was helping the community manager out. You deal with quite a lot of.
Wasn't there this Russian guy that one time?
Oh man. Well, don't forget. I mean, I was an intern for a Warhammer game that was being made. So there were a lot of the game did do relatively well in parts of East, of Europe, things like that, where it's still a lot bigger than it is in other places.
Yeah, it's pretty big in Europe, honestly, Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were times where it's like I would have to deal with like forum posts in Russian, so I'm dead set not joking. I would just like, I'd be like, man, all right, I would straight to Google Translate. I'd piece together what they were saying and like try to piece together some sort of response back. And at the end of the day, these ambassadors, it's probably drilled into them, but they have to acknowledge that they are representing Microsoft. So like when you do community management or customer service of any kind, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing whoever you're working for. In their case, it'd be Xbox, the Xbox brand. So if you were to have a problem and then one of those ambassadors gives you a horrible experience, that reflects bad on the Xbox brand. Because when it comes to buying the next console, can you imagine? I know you don't buy a console thinking, well, I can't wait to have a problem so I can test the customer service. But in the event you do have a problem, would you rather be talking to dedicated support staff or the ambassadors who are not being paid and you never know, may or may not be hit or miss?
Yeah, support staff, honestly.
Yeah.
Charbel,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off here, but I have some breaking news.
What's going
Oh,
on?
Here we
Remember how
go.
we said we wished the Fallout announcement was going to be Elder Scrolls 6?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it was
No,
Elder Scrolls Online.
Look,
Bethesda has announced Fallout 76. Not much is known about this game yet, but we hear it's an online game.
Oh.
wait, what? Are you actually being
No.
serious or are you just trolling me because I called you just
No, I'm
Josh?
being absolutely serious. I just Kotaku just launched it.
Hang on.
There's also a teaser trailer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So there is an online Fallout?
What seems to be. There's not much information on it, but it seems to be some sort of online game.
Amph, hurry up and get PSN Plus again.
I'll try.
Come
I'll
on,
try.
fam. Come on, fam. Me and you gotta get them wastelands. Gotta
Wow,
patrol.
We're gonna protect those like fucking settlements, man. Like
Oh, I was about... Yeah, man. Settlements
the
need our
settlements
help.
need help.
I'm telling you, Josh, if this starts out and it says, okay, you've now joined the Minutemen, I can only imagine some of the responses people will be getting. It's like
You
they could
guys
just
spiraled
continue
into
on
memes like immediately, so I have no idea what's gonna happen.
100%. 100%. I want the plot of this online game to be your created character has joined the Minutemen and your commander is Preston Garvey.
I will bet you
so
so many
bad.
people will join the Minutemen just for that.
Oh yeah, just for the memes, just for the good memes.
Actually, quick question. In Fallout 4, you've both finished it, correct?
Yeah.
Who did you end up siding with?
The Institute.
Amph?
I feel like I took it with guard.
I feel like it's trying to not disappoint us, but trying to tell us he chose the
I
railroad.
was about to
didn't he?
say, did you choose the railway by any chance?
You chose the railroad.
Oh my god.
Why?
For the shits and gigs.
Dude, it was your first playthrough.
Yeah.
That's not shits and gigs, that's how you feel inside.
Yeah, that's exactly how.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
No.
felt like riding that
I,
train.
I chose the Minutemen. I was talking to my mate, and my mate hates Preston with a passion. And he goes, why would you choose the Minutemen? I go, hold up, you're telling me I can essentially build an army for the wasteland in my vision? That is my squad.
Charbel is an aspiring general / dictator.
Absolutely. I will conquer the wastelands. I did conquer the
Personally, I
wastelands.
didn't agree with the Brotherhood of Steel or the Institute at all. I just went against both.
Why aren't you racist, Amph?
Dude, I chose the neutral route, man.
I only chose the Institute.
Neutral. You chose like the
This is
freedom
not-
fighters that everyone
This
hated.
is not SMT, alright? That is not neutral.
Oh man, the Minutemen would have been
Oh, yeah, the
neutral.
Minutemen are neutral. The Institute is chaotic evil.
I should have
The
went
railroad
with the
is
Minutemen.
What-
like, fuck it, I'm gonna build trains.
They're like, nah, synths are people too.
But I like trains.
No, they're not. I don't agree with that. And I was in the Institute.
Thomas, man. We gotta let Thomas hit the rails again.
Oh
My
man,
boy Thomas and Big Shaq.
So this in 3 episodes we went from a serious gaming podcast to consistent memes.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It devolves. It weirdly swings between the two. We're like a pendulum.
You know, everything is memes. You
Oh,
know,
man.
everything is memes. We all become one with memes.
Oh man.
We are
Oh
memes.
my god.
Now, before we get too into the memeing, we do have to address probably the biggest news of the week. I guess you can always call it the elephant in the room.
I think it's the elephant in the room.
But-
It's the controversy of the week.
Yeah. Yep.
Time to dive in.
Battlefield is going back to World War II.
Yes.
Right now, I absolutely love World War II games, so I am absolutely keen on this. Now, it has garnered some controversy because in the trailer they showed a woman being pretty active on the front lines of a battle in World War II. Now, before we go any further, I think it's fair to say this. We don't know if that was a character in the story, or if that was just a multiplayer thing, or if it was just a general trailer for the game itself. So we don't know if they're going to make a game where you play as a woman, a man, or anything like that. What gets me is the level of, I don't know what you'd call it, hate, resentment,
Toxicity.
that's being thrown at this game for that sole reason.
It has
Much
been
as-
a shit
look,
show.
Absolutely. Look, much as I think we all agree games are an art form.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a form, definitely.
But, and this is probably the only time I will say this, relax, it is just a game. People are acting like, this is the end of the world, like their childhood's gone, things like that. You would legitimately think another world war has started the way some of these reactions have happened.
It has been very vitriolic and bad on
Yeah.
everything has been so vitriolic and bad on it. I just want people to calm
Yeah.
down.
Everyone has their
It-
guns.
Look, but luckily for the 10 people that will watch this, most of them being our mates, I have cracked the code.
Go on.
Enlighten us.
All right, try to keep up with me and my enlightened thinking.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
So
You've lost me.
that's why they call you Simple Josh.
Yes.
Just
But-
Josh.
Okay, now hear me out. So people are mad that you can play as a woman in Battlefield 5. What if you just chose not to play as a woman in
Wait,
Battlefield 5?
Charbel, are you saying that if they don't like it, they just shouldn't do it or shouldn't buy it?
I think that is
now
what I'm saying,
available on
Josh.
shirt. Oh, God.
That should be our cover
Like,
photo,
look.
dude. Like, come
It
on.
really should be. Donovan, please don't buy this.
Oh, look. Look, I mean, it's like we've said in, I think, the last 2 episodes whenever we brought up anything like this. Where it's like, if you have a problem with a product, I don't care what your problem is, that's between you and whatever the hell the product is. Just don't buy it. Don't support it. Your wallet sends more of a message than your voice can in this
Oh yeah,
case.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just feel like all these people are offended. They're like, oh man, that was so unrealistic. I'm like, hand, pretty much. I just put my hand up and I'm like, would you rather something more realistic such as Wolfenstein or something along those lines?
Guys, I only
just
play
like-
very realistic games. Persona 5 is just...
Absolutely.
Oh,
No,
my
but it's
God.
like-
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm just saying, I've never played a game. Like, for example, I bought Call of Duty World War II, unfortunately.
Oh, Shabs.
I mean, it was a World War II game. I felt like it might be
Dude,
good.
I was with you the entire time that thing had the hype train. You were all aboard the hype train.
You are the chosen one. You're supposed to destroy the Sith, not join
You're
them.
like a brother to me!
Oh, man, now we got Star Wars in on this.
God, I have the high ground!
No, but hear me out. So I bought it, and in that game, there are female playable characters in the story.
Sacrilege.
But it's like, I mean, it never ruined the experience for me.
It's not.
I never sat there and
It's not
said,
going to. It won't matter. It's never gonna matter. It's a fucking first-person shooter. You won't be able to tell, except for the fact that your death scream will be a little more high-pitched.
it was just, honestly, I never had a problem with it. I don't have a problem with Battlefield 5, and to be honest, I actually may pick it up. I haven't picked up a Battlefield game since Battlefield 3. And even that took me a lot because I was salty that it wasn't Bad Company 3, and at the time I just didn't want to devote time to another FPS that I was playing. But it's like, I mean, it's a World War II shooter. As long as the game is fun, and look, I'm not going to lie, if I pick it up, I'm probably going to spend about 100 times the time on multiplayer than I will on campaign. But as long as I have fun with the game, then I'll consider it a good purchase, and I'll be more than happy to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And before we get into the topic, there were women who did fight in World War II. We're not saying
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
historically inaccurate.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
want to say we think that the overall reaction to it has been really toxic and very misguided.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now, what would you say if I told you I have a hidden topic that I didn't bring up that I feel like I want to
A
discuss?
mysterious fourth topic?
Yes, this has never been done before in Safe File
This is
podcast
madness.
history. In all 3 episodes, we haven't seen anything
Hey,
like
that's
this.
2 hours of content.
Yeah.
That is 2 hours, but no one saw this coming. I grew up on PlayStation.
Yes.
You know, my first proper home console was a PS2, got a PS3, and now a PS4. So Sony are bringing back the Days of Play, which, for those who don't know, I'm assuming that'd be you, Josh,
me, Josh.
because if it seems to not be about Pokemon, you don't seem to be in the know too much about it.
Listen, I'm not saying that I only have one game I play, but Pokemon Emerald was pretty good.
Not gonna lie,
Has
that
anything
that
been
is
made
valid.
since?
Here's the thing. Sony's Days of Play is, I think it's a 12-day period where each day they come up with a new deal, they throw it on the PSN store, and it's always been like a crazy deal. So if you've been looking to get a game like, say, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, or, you know, generally just anything, you may get lucky, and there may be a crazy deal on for you. And generally, I've actually had a lot of good experience buying the discounted games on the PSN store. You know, you do get a lot of really nice discounts from time to time. Here's the thing. They've announced a special edition PS4 console to celebrate the Days of Play. Josh, I believe you can edit in a photo of it when we talk about
Yeah, no
this.
problem.
But it is like a metallic blue, and it's got the 4 face buttons of the controller, the circle, the triangle, the X and square, and like a nice yellow, with the silver PS logo in the corner. Here's the thing. One of the things I'm happy about on my PS4 was I bought a 1TB version of that. I had a 500 gig to start with, eventually moved up to a terabyte. I don't think 500 gig is enough on a console. Now before you hopped on, Josh, I was talking to Amp about it. He had no idea that this console got announced, and while I was looking it up, I came across something. In Australia and Europe, the console being sold is a 500 gig model that comes with 2 controllers. In the US and Canada, they're getting a 1TB version with 1 controller.
No matter where you are, no matter where you are.
God has forsaken us.
I look, I know this may come across as extremely petty, but I can't for the life of me understand why 500 gig models are being produced to this day when you could just sell the 1TB. We know it's there.
I guess because
And
it's,
it's only
cheaper.
what? Yeah, but you know, at retail it's about $50 to $100 extra. Which, look, if you're buying a PS4, you're probably just going to go for the 1
This is a
terabyte.
limited
nothing.
edition console, right?
Yeah.
I'd expect the best.
Yeah, it's a
I'd
limited
expect
run.
The best.
Yeah, I expect perfection. That's like Nintendo coming out. Look, guys, we know the Switch has been pretty successful. We're going to bring out a brand new version. It's called the Wii U.
Oh wow!
Oh.
But listen. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I don't like having 2 separate editions of a console, because here's where it's going to be really weird for them. Is a lot of my mates are the only ones in their households who play games to, a pretty decent degree. If one of them wanted to buy this console, what's to stop them from looking, saying, well, why would I need a second controller? I only play single player games, or I'm the only one in my house that plays games.
That is very true.
I'll just buy the American
Yeah.
one. Like, what's to stop them from doing that? And then it's gonna, like, if you're Sony, you're probably gonna get a bit of misinformation. You're gonna get a bit of weird data because you're gonna say, okay, well, why are people buying consoles from the US and the UK and then they're shipping them to?
Oh, because there's the.
Consoles from the
product.
US and Canada. Yeah, that's the thing. I just find it to be a superior product. And here's the thing. Judging by what they've done with previous special edition consoles, the controllers will be sold separately. So if you really do want a second controller, alright, buy the 1 terabyte version, and then just go to your local EB Games or JB Hi-Fi and pick up the blue controller.
That's really bad. That's really sad that they would do that. Why do we always get fucked over with these kinds of things?
Oh man, being Australian is the worst. I saw a photo that summed it up, where it was like a little meme, and it's like, what's it like living in Australia? And it's like, online store, and it's like items $8.99, shipping $99.99.
Yeah, no, fuck.
That's exactly what it's like living in Australia.
Okay, I'm gonna give an actual story of my first time trying to use Amazon. So I was trying to buy manga because I'm a weeb, and right, so I got 3 volumes, right? Came out to $25. It was really good. I thought, that's some good deals.
American or Australian?
So it came out to a pretty good deal, right? It cost $112 to ship.
Oh boy.
To ship 3 mangas.
Yes, it was ridiculous. I was just like, well, this is bullshit. And then, like, a month later, they introduced Amazon Australia.
Oh,
And
wow.
I have a personal thing to put onto this as well. Like, me and Josh are big JRPG fans, and
We are weebs.
yeah, we are fucking weebs as hell. Like the biggest weebs ever. But like we used to get the shaft with JRPGs back in like the PS2 era. Like we did not.
We
know
all
what
pirated.
Yeah,
we both pirated.
yeah, like back in like say I think maybe like at least in the 2000 bracket and between like PS2 and PS3.
Oh yeah, like 10 years ago, like to get RPGs, like the good ones, you had to pirate them. We didn't even get half of them.
Yeah, and if you did like import them, then you'd get like a region lock.
Oh, and breaking region locks over here is also difficult. It's fucking sucks shit. It's so much better now.
Yeah,
now that Chrono Trigger's on Steam and they fixed it.
And we've gotten games now like Radiant Historia, which was on DS. We never got the original DS copy. Same thing with Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, but we finally got them on 3DS now of all times.
Oh, it's a bit of a weird time. We live in a weird time. They shouldn't, like, if you're going to bring something out in the US, why region lock it? Just fucking bring it out over here.
Now, I also have a story about buying online as well.
Oh, Charbel, do go on.
So get this. Obviously, this is off the topic of games, but I am a huge fan of sneakers. I'm a massive sneakerhead.
We really diverse podcast here, don't we?
Huh?
2 weebs. Yeah, man, I like sneakers and basketball.
I do. I used to play basketball.
I know, but like, it's just...
No, but get this. So, I bought a couple pairs of shoes. I even remember the shoes I bought. I bought a pair of Nike Dunk Lows and I bought a pair of Nike Cortez Ultras. Fantastic. I love them and everything, but here's the weird thing. The website I was using is a website called Eastbay. Fantastic place to buy shoes. I buy essentially all my shoes there now. And as I'm looking through, and under the price, it's got shipping free. Fantastic. So, got them, put them in the checkout. Now, I rarely bought online before this. Most of the time, I would just go to my sister's fiance because he always buys online most of his stuff. It's like, hey, what's up? Just do this, and I'll just transfer you the money. Easy. Well, that, and I'm a lazy bastard. So here's the thing: shipping free, whatever. And now I calculated how much stuff would cost, as you do when you shop. I'm like, man, why am I being charged an extra like $60? Might as well just buy a third pair of shoes. And I've looked, and it's like, oh yeah, no, the shipping is only free domestically. And I'm like, oh fuck. Of course
That's
it
why
is.
every Australian has that one American friend we send all our shit to.
I don't have any American friends. Why don't you two hook me up with an American friend just to get free shipping?
I used to have American friends I could hook you up with, but yeah, if you got any American friends you can hook him up with?
My mom's ex-fiance's friend is...
I was going to say, Anth, do you have any friends? No. Man.
Nah.
Destruction.
So, it's only because I've been roasting Josh this whole time. I think I had to get one
Fair
in there.
play.
Yeah.
Fair play. It's all fair play.
Fair play. No, it gets to the point where I think we're just complaining about Australian shipping prices, but like a lot of stuff over in America and Canada and like I guess the Northern Hemisphere that's really easily available, like getting here is difficult. It's like an endeavor. For a long time.
You know what?
But it's getting better.
I just wish the one thing that we could import is better, cheaper internet. Seriously, the amount of times where... You know what's funny? This true story. So I have an auntie who lives in Brazil, and I've got like some cousins out there as well. And she came to visit a couple years ago. And it's funny, she actually made a comment about how the internet was better in Brazil than it is here. And it's funny because if you look now, Australia's not even in the top 50 for internet speeds.
The Congo is ahead of us.
Kenya is ahead of us as well.
Oh my god.
A lot of countries that are still... I'm saying this with all respect. A lot of countries that aren't as developed as Australia have much better internet.
Yeah, no, Australia is really lagging behind internet for such a developed first world country. Like we are not.
I see what you did there.
We're not a developing country. Like we're a world power. I'm surprised that our internet is so lagging.
Our internet is totally down under.
Well, we come from the
Josh.
land.
Josh, I was going to say, are you going to acknowledge that, or are we just letting that one slip?
No, I'm editing it out. Fuck it.
Oh man, that was like
we
the...
love you.
Come on, keep it.
No.
Keep it.
Come on, mate.
No, we'll keep it in.
Oh, yeah, we're keeping that in for sure. Man, I've been slightly salty this podcast because you didn't acknowledge the pun I made at the start of it.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Remake the pun.
Well, before we talked about Pokemon, and it's funny because when you go back and listen to this podcast when you're editing it, you're actually gonna like hate the fact that I did this and you didn't acknowledge it. Before we talked about the first topic, which was all the Pokemon stuff, I was like, oh yeah, let's talk about Pokemon. Go. And no one said anything. And I'm like, not sure if I'm being ignored or... Come on, man.
And
like,
Chekhov's gun has fired and I didn't notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice either.
Dude, I feel underappreciated. I put effort into your intro, Josh.
I know, you did. I know, you did. That's legitimate effort.
Legitimate effort, just Josh.
Just Monica.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yes.
But
Yes,
look,
Eve.
in all honesty, I just think that Australia is in a really weird place when it comes to games, especially. Last week we talked about the classification board and how annoying, they can be. Despite the fact we get, as Amph put it, censored R18 games.
Yeah, it's really strange.
That should be
I
more
hope
than
that's
enough.
burned into your minds.
Just don't buy it.
God. You're legitimately trying to make that like our podcast slogan. Just don't
Yeah,
buy it.
now it's forced. Now it's forced and it won't happen.
Should we just put that as the title?
Oh,
Just
man.
don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
And then, you might think, alright, well then if I can't get We Happy Few, why don't I just go and play some online games? Wait, why am I lagging so bad? Oh, I'm on American servers.
Dude, you can't even...
That's another thing.
You can't even look at live
That's-
streams. Like, it's so bad.
If you thought our
Man.
internet's bad, look at our Netflix.
Oh,
We do
God.
not speak of our Netflix.
Oh, our Netflix.
The amount of times I've been happy because something I've been dying to watch shows up on Netflix and I look and it's not on the Australian Netflix.
I tried to look for so many
Oh,
shows, and it's like, yeah, we don't exist. Yeah, not on this country. You don't.
But it's alright, guys. We do have Stan.
That we do.
And we have Hulu.
Oh, that we do.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, man. Hold
a
on.
travesty.
Worst case scenario, just shell out for YouTube Red.
Speaking of which,
I'm
Cobra
not gonna
Kai
do
kicked
it.
off pretty good.
I saw they did a thing where it was like the first 2 episodes were like available
Yeah.
for non-YouTube Red users.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I checked it out. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
So far I've liked the first 2
Look,
episodes. I'm actually tempted.
I'm not paying
to
for
get
YouTube Red unless YouTube gives us some kind of deal. In which case, please buy YouTube Red.
Well, I mean, there is a 30-day free trial. I'm like sort of.
If it ever
tempted.
comes out on DVD, I'm totally buying it.
I don't.
Probably won't because it's a YouTube
It's a
Red.
YouTube Red thing. I don't think it'll come out on DVD. It might come out as free later on, maybe. But
I hope. I
Yeah.
actually really want to watch it because I really like the Karate
I-
Kid.
Fair enough. To be honest, I honestly, I'm just waiting for YouTube to see where YouTube Red goes, because if it's a case of like, yeah, for a few years this thing's gonna run, then I'm not gonna pay for it. But if it's a case of like this thing will eventually rocket and take off,
yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Then
what I'm
sure.
thinking is this is definitely an experiment. But if all goes well, like this can be like the new TV.
Yeah.
that's I think Netflix is pretty much the new
Definitely.
Well, that's what I mean. It's joining up with Netflix, and that is another one of those services. But YouTube Red is more of an independent developer of shows to watch.
It's definitely a Foxtel killer.
I mean, it is. I don't know. I don't know how independent you would call a Google-owned company.
Oh no, I mean
But-
the people who actually make it are pretty independent, although they are backed by a big
Oh
company.
yeah, fair,
Hmm.
fair enough then.
Well, any sort of like streaming service these days is just like a Foxtel killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Don't
It's
get
a
me
Foxtel
started.
killer.
Don't get me started with Foxtel. Jesus Christ.
Less and less people are actually
I-
buying cable.
I had Optus back in the day, back when there was Optus TV and that.
Oh my god.
Before Foxtel.
Optus TV.
Oh boy.
No, because like here's the thing. So my parents used to watch like the Middle Eastern broadcast channels, like the Lebanese ones. So they used to watch that. I still remember the 2 channels that they used to watch. One was called LBC, and the other one was called ART.
And what was
And
on
they both
Art?
just brought. Yeah, no, they just broadcast like everything from like news. It was just a regular channel, but it was just all like Lebanese content essentially. I remember then we got Foxtel, and that was back when they had the box with the what's the word, the card that you put in.
Oh, I remember
And
those,
then-
yeah.
Yeah, the Foxtel box, the original Foxtel box offices. And then eventually we were just like, nah, fuck this. I'll just use the internet, watch YouTube. And
Yeah,
shit.
no, it's way better. The internet is just way better. It's just
Yeah.
so much more choice and variance.
Yeah. But look, in all honesty, I think it's a case of, we just see where it goes.
Yep, see where it goes.
Yep.
Let's just give things a chance. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Be more optimistic, guys.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I think it's about time we wrap things up.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds absolutely
All right.
super.
For the Safe File podcast, it's been me, Sharps, Amph,
Yo,
and Just Josh.
Just Josh.
just Josh.
Alright, and this is the
Just
Safe File
Josh.
podcast. This is the Safe File podcast, signing out.
Signing
See
out.
you later.